Hey, welcome to the Live Compelled podcast. This is Nate Ellerton. I am the lead pastor at Compelled Church, and we do this Live Compelled podcast about every couple weeks, and we have been doing a series of stories, hearing people's stories of how they came to Christ, what Jesus is doing in their life now, and it has been inspiring to get feedback from people who really think these stories are incredible, and hearing of how the Lord really changed lives, turned families around, generations around, and genealogies around by His goodness, His love, His forgiveness, His power, and the new life that comes in Christ. And today, I got a great brother with me, Christian Williams, and he has been a blessing. We bumped into an airport. Where were we? In Orlando? Was it Orlando?
Yeah, Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, and we got to fellowship there and hear what God was doing in his life, and that was so exciting. And I know that was several months ago, but we finally got you on the podcast. Chris, thanks for coming. Tell us some things about yourself, where you live, about your family. Introduce yourself to our listeners, and then we're going to jump into your incredible story.
Hey, so I'm Christian Williams, and I'm married to my beautiful wife, Katie, who I have 3 children with, Reagan, James, and Cameron. And we actually live out in Blissfield, Michigan now. We moved out there about 5 years ago, and it's been a real blessing. We originally were in Erie, and we attended Compelled about maybe 5 years ago, around there. But I mean, currently, I'm at home with the kids most of the time, and I'm going to school. So I stepped away from work a couple of years back, and then maybe about a year ago, I started doing government contracting with a friend. It was just kind of a part-time thing while I'm in school, and but my wife, she actually works real estate, so it's we've been getting by financially, but I mean, not we don't have much, but we have enough to get by.
Yeah, awesome. And so when you were attending Compelled here, Chris, you were going through quite a time. You had just gotten back. I know you've shared a little bit with me in that. So before we get into where Jesus has brought you, where did He bring you from? What were you like before this transformation?
I mean, I remember, I'll start back in the beginning. When I was 4 years old, I remember sitting down at the table with my mom and praying and asking Jesus to come into my life. But the next 26 years I spent living selfishly for me. I was really focused on sports and friends and girls back in school, and didn't really take anything too seriously. But I was in church my whole life, and it was, I heard everything. I didn't do anything. I didn't pick up my Bible and read. I didn't love others very well. But out of high school, I ended up going into the Army, and I did a tour overseas. I spent 4 years down in Texas, and I struggled a lot after that. I really struggled with the hurts and pains of life that I brought from childhood, that I brought from my time in the service. And at the time I was 18 and just a kid, and I got down in this deep dark hole that I was depressed, I was isolated, alone, and kind of hopeless. I got to this point where I gave up on living for a long time, and it was really hurtful to my wife and my kids. I felt like a failure as a father, as a husband, and I feel like I really let everyone down. Mm-hmm. But that's where Jesus came in. Mm-hmm. So I want to say maybe close to 3 years ago, that's when things turned around. Mm-hmm. My marriage was falling apart. Me and my wife, Katie, were about to get a divorce. Everything in my life was falling apart. I didn't have a job at the time, and I was struggling with drugs and alcohol. That was the way that I coped, and I used that as my escape. It was I can't deal with my problems, and I'm going to rely on this substance to make it better. This temporary relief that I have to keep coming back to and keep coming back to finally get that peace for that short moment. And that it led me to this really dark place. And I thought I had myself convinced that it's okay for me to do this because I'm hurting. I justified everything that I did. I blamed everyone else for my problems. And then when I finally got to that point where I felt like I'd almost lost everything, it wasn't me that did anything. Mm-hmm. The only thing I did was give up and give in, truly submitting myself and asking God to come into my life. And He did. And it has turned my life around so much, I can't even explain everything.
What did that look like? It was in the middle of the night? Were you with a friend? Like when you cried out to the Lord, you just gave up, said, I can't do it anymore, and God came into your life? Were you alone? Were you?
So I was, me and Katie just got in this argument. I spent 3 days away from the house. I went and stayed with my parents, and I came back home, and it just seemed like everything was falling apart. I was alone. I was in my basement. It was just me at the house, and I kept asking myself, why is this happening again? Why is everything falling apart? Why is everything going wrong? I thought I was doing it right. I was providing for my family. I was doing all the things that I thought a man should do. And it just hit me. I've been the one that's wrong. I fell down on my knees and I asked God to please show me what it is that I've been doing wrong. Show me what I need to do. Show me how I'm supposed to be living life, because I thought I had it all figured out, but I didn't. I was foolish. I was childish, and in so many different ways. And then He started showing me where I'm wrong. How many times have you taken your wife on a date in the last 5 years? How many times have you told her that, no, I don't really feel like going out with you and your friends. I want to stay home alone. I was so stuck in my own head and my own hurts that I couldn't see outside of that. I couldn't see where she was hurting. I couldn't see where my kids were hurting. I couldn't see where anybody was hurting, because it was all about me. Mm. And until God finally pulled me out of that, it felt like my eyes were finally opened. I could actually see that it's my fault, no one else's. Mm-hmm. And taking that accountability, finally admitting to myself that I'm the one that's wrong, it took a lot. It was hard for me to come to that.
Why do you think it was hard?
At the end of the day, all of us, we want to be seen as good. We want to be seen in society as like we fit in. We want to be seen that we're smart, we're capable, we're strong, or whatever it is that we value.
Sure.
We want to be seen that way. So, it was hard for me to admit that I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. I don't have it figured out. I don't know. I don't understand. And it made me feel powerless. But that's exactly what I was.
So it's an interesting theme that comes up, Chris, when we really surrender to God. But it's that time of really just raw humility, where you're just like tired. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And thank the Lord for your mom. You turned to what you knew was true of the Lord. I got this picture in my mind of you falling to your knees and just crying out to God. And the Bible says that if we draw near to God, He'll draw near to us. And that's what happened to you.
Yeah, absolutely. He pulled me from the fire. At that point in my life, I truly felt like I was dead. Mm-hmm. I stopped eating. I stopped taking care of myself. I stopped showering. Mm-hmm. I stopped taking care of my responsibilities in the home. I stopped caring about anything else other than how do I get this pain out? Like how do I feel happy again?
So just for context, how many years were you suffering like this? Like after your marriage?
After our marriage started.
Yeah, your marriage has started. Things probably went pretty good for a while, but how long were you in this deep, dark hole, you said?
I mean, to be honest, most of our marriage. So we got married in 2017, and at that point we were married for about five years.
Okay.
And almost the whole time, because we didn't start our marriage off biblically. Mm-hmm. And I understand the consequences of that now, but back then it's okay. Right. I can live with my wife before we're married. We can sleep together before we're married. We can do all these things, but then we didn't have that time alone and that time together to get to really know each other deeply.
Sure.
And I put all these unreasonable expectations on our marriage about, I expect you to, I'm the provider and protector. I go to work every day. You should be at home taking care of our children, taking care of our home. And our intimate relationship was almost non-existent for a long time. And
so you're in this deep dark hole. You and Katie don't know marriage any other way. You hit rock bottom, and you have this transformation in the basement. Jesus comes to you, makes himself real to you. You surrender everything. You give it all up. You humbly, literally, physically and spiritually kneel before the Lord. What things started changing after that?
So, mostly it's all me, my heart. It took a while for things to start changing between me and Katie or me and my kids.
Sure.
But it all started with me making the changes that I needed to make. I was isolated. I was alone. We started getting involved in our local church. And we started going there and making that a priority, that we're there every week, that we're connecting with the community, and not just going there.
Let me interrupt you real quick.
Yeah.
Because this is a question I want everybody to hear. You started getting involved in your local church. Was Katie already going? Were you the one that said, you know what, let's go to church today? Like, what did that look like?
So if I remember correctly, it was just kind of an agreement between us.
Yep.
That we realized it was during the whole COVID period where churches started shutting down, and we kind of got lazy, started watching church online, and
sure,
we got this like disconnect that,
yep.
And then a few Sundays we'd sleep in here and there. We stopped coming to church. We stopped getting around people. It was easy for me because I didn't want to be around people anyways. Yeah. I was so depressed and so miserable that I'd go to church and show up and meet the same person 10 times. They'd tell me their name, and I still can't remember it. And that was that selfish part of me. I'm so focused on myself. I can't even remember someone's name. And
so focused on self.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then once we finally started going to this church together, it was funny because in that moment when I prayed and asked God to come into my life, it's like the one thing that stuck in my head. It wasn't like I heard this audible voice or anything. I asked God, what do I do? And I looked beside me, and my Bible is sitting right there. And it's just pick it up. Pick it up is the one thing that kept going through my head, and read it. And when I started reading that time, it wasn't about, God, how do I fix my marriage? How do I do this? How do I fix all these problems that I have? How do I feel happiness again? It was, I just want to know. And then it was little by little learning who God actually was. And so, picking up my Bible and reading, getting involved in the church, actually making it a priority to focus on where have I been wrong and how do I actually fix those things? How do I change those things?
You took ownership of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. You didn't blame, in all the things you're talking about, you have not done what a lot of us men do at times, is blame our wives. You have not made any implication to your wife that this was her issues or she didn't respond to you correctly. You're really owning it. That's pretty great.
Well, that's the one thing I finally found that true change actually comes about is I'm wrong. Please show me how I can fix this. Because I don't have the power to change anyone. The only power that I have in this life is to make my own choices. What am I going to do? How am I going to respond? What am I going to say?
Man, that's such a key to life right there, Chris, what you just said. You don't have the power to change anybody but yourself. And with the Lord's help, how are you going to change? How are you going to respond? That's powerful.
Well, I mean, that's the one thing that's actually been working for me.
Yeah.
It's for so long in our marriage, I would, before that moment, I would blame Katie. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be very loving to you because you're not giving me the things that I want or need. Mm-hmm. Like the dishes aren't done, and just simple things like that really just don't matter at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it was so childish of me to act that way, but it felt like it hurt. It felt like it was disrespectful.
Listen to this, fellas. Go ahead.
I took that disrespect that I felt and blamed my wife for my own issues. I wasn't being very loving to her. I didn't think about her. I only thought of myself. And I didn't realize that because why am I not getting the things that I need? I'm not getting them because I'm not treating her very well. No wonder why she acted the way that she did.
100%.
It's because of me.
Yeah.
It's not her. I can't blame her for anything. Mm-hmm. I mean, in a marriage, it's 50-50. We work together as a team, and we weren't doing that.
Yeah. When I bumped into you in Orlando, I hadn't seen you for a couple years, and I wasn't sure it was you because you looked different. Like you physically looked different. Like I remember you used to, when you came to Compelled, you guys used to sit back by the drinking fountain. You didn't look well. You didn't look happy. You didn't look like you wanted to be there. But yet you were coming, you were trying. But when I saw you in Orlando, there was a light of Jesus in your face. Your eyes lit up when you saw me. We hugged like crazy people in the middle of the airport. And you began to share the story with me. And there's one thing that you said. You guys just didn't attend church. You got involved in your church, and you got involved in a small group that was, talk about your small group.
So I started going up to the church with Katie, and I felt like I was still really struggling. It's not like everything just changes overnight.
You had some negative patterns of life you had to overcome.
Yeah, and the one thing I knew is that I can't do it alone. I mean, I'm powerless to this. I mean, I'm allowing Christ to finally work in my heart rather than, I relied on my own strength, my own wisdom, and that's what led me to being miserable. So I wanted to learn. I wanted to look up at examples of other men who wanted the same thing. And I started going to counseling. So I started talking to my pastor at the church, and he's like, man, why don't you come out to what we call Dudes Group?
Dudes Group.
Yeah.
I like that, Dudes Group.
Yep. And a small group of guys, and they get together every Thursday night. And so I started going up there. And I wanted to know more. I wanted to learn. I wanted to look up at these examples of men of what a Christ-centered life looks like, because I didn't know. Mm-hmm. And I wanted that. I wanted to pursue that. I wanted to chase after it. And getting involved with that group made a huge difference in my life. Mm-hmm. Being around people to hold me accountable for my actions. Mm-hmm. Tell me when I'm wrong in a situation rather than me justifying, Katie, man, she did this or she did that. Well, what did I do? What's your part in it? And you need someone to ask you that question. And if you're trying to do it alone, you're going to fall on your face every time. Mm-hmm. But getting up there and getting involved with another group, a group of men who are going to lift you up, encourage you, love on you. I mean, I've never had friends like that before where they just care about you.
So many times people overlook community in the body of Christ or small group. They think it's just a Bible study or a class. But when it becomes highly relational where, you're really involved in weeping with those who weep, rejoicing with those who rejoice, encouraging one another, spurring one another on to love and good works. It says in Hebrews, man, that's life-giving, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And, I really like to give some thanks to Pastor Gail and Kurt Bush. Those two people really came alongside me and encouraged me and lifted me up when I couldn't pull myself out of that hole.
Yeah.
And it's like God sent those men to be in my life.
Yeah.
to lower the rope down so I could climb out.
Wow.
And that's what it felt like. It's I finally have people that actually care if I'm still breathing.
Mm-hmm.
They'll answer the phone if I call. They'll meet me if I need something. They'll help me if I need it. They're there for me.
It's a real brotherhood, isn't it? And that
Absolutely.
a lot of men don't do what you did. They don't look for that. They just hold back, and they're not very. Us guys, sometimes we just don't reach out. One of the saddest stats in the church that I know is 80% of men have no other man they can say is their best friend. That stat really breaks my heart.
Yeah. No, it really.
But you lived that for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I was right there. It was my own ego and my own pride that got in the way that I'm strong enough that I can overcome this. And the hole kept getting deeper.
Yeah, me too.
It kept getting harder to get out of.
Wow.
And I finally got to the point where I can't get out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I feel like I lost all hope. And when that hope was gone, I don't care.
Yeah. So what's life like now, Christian? Like God's taking you on a journey. You're still as bright-eyed as I saw you in Orlando. You're excited. You got things in the horizon that Jesus might be leading you to. You got family. Before we started this, you're talking about your kids and how much you love them, how much you love your family, your wife. You lit up. What's life like now? I think I could answer for you, but...
I mean, I know you could. Life's great. I mean, I've never felt this kind of peace in my life. I've never felt this kind of joy, or this happiness, or this like thankfulness. I mean, I am thankful to be breathing today. Before, I didn't want to live. I prayed and asked God, just please let me die.
Mm.
And now I have a purpose again. I have something that God's calling me to be doing. I mean, loving God and loving others.
Yeah.
He made it easy for us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so simple that I felt so stupid.
Right.
But I'm so grateful to have my wife and my kids.
Yeah.
I mean, without them, I would have truly have been alone. And they were there for me still in that time, and I really let them down. But I'm there now. I mean, my life looks like it's focused around my family. It's focused around my whole mission and goal with my family is to bring them to Christ.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I live for. Is not about me anymore. It's about bringing other people to Christ, because that's what Christ did for me. He pulled me out of that hole and gave me new life, and I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know your wife, and I got to believe Jesus answered some of her prayers with your story.
No, absolutely. I mean, I'm just thankful she stuck around.
Yeah.
I don't deserve her.
Oh, that's great. Me neither. I don't deserve my wife. God's been good to us, brother, in the midst of all of our pride and failures.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's incredible. What would you say, Chris, to men that are stuck in that dark place like you were, maybe not in dark depression, but just ambivalence toward God, not grateful to their family? How could you encourage men that are listening to this?
I mean, the first thing I say is don't give up hope, because God is right there, walking alongside you, gently waiting for you to turn to Him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what He does. He's not going to force you to love Him. He's not going to force you to follow Him. He wants you to love Him back, because He loves you so much. Don't give up that hope. But the one thing I'd say is be honest with yourself. That's what I did to myself for years. I lied to myself and told myself it's okay that I drink. It's okay that I have a lustful heart. It's okay that I do all these things, but that's not loving. And it's so easy to lie to yourself and justify all the things that you're doing wrong, but evaluate your life. Honestly, go through your priorities. What do you spend your time doing? Do you give time to God every day? Or do you spend 3-4 hours watching TV every night? How much time do you spend on your phone? You can check right in the settings. It'll tell you.
Yep.
I mean, did I give more time to God today than I did to my phone and Facebook? Or I mean, me sitting down and honestly evaluating my priorities, not to give to anyone else, but that's what made me look at how am I spending my time, because that's where my heart is.
All right. Well, you've heard the gospel, and I'm looking at the gospel in action with your life, and I'm proud of you for not giving up, and I'm thankful we had wives that pray for us and other people in your life, and a good church that you're a part of, and not just attend and walk in and walk out, but got involved in a small group. You got an inspiring story, Chris, and I was thinking about you this morning in my time, and these verses came to mind for you. I will extol the Lord, for you have drawn me up or lifted me up. You have not let my foes rejoice over me. My God, I cried to you for help, and you've healed me. You brought me up, my soul from the pit, and restored my life among those who go down. And so I'm thankful for your restoration, Chris, and I'm thankful for your family, and I'm excited to see what's next for you.
Well, I appreciate you asking me to come out here and share, Nate, and I'm happy to share my story with other people. Yeah. I'm not ashamed anymore. I'm not scared to go out and tell people this is where I've been. Mm-hmm. I've struggled here, because that's what allows me to relate to anybody.
Yep. And anyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. And that night in that basement, that's what happened to you. I'm
absolutely. All the praise and glory needs to go to him, because he did it for me. Yep. I didn't do anything but give up.
Well, thanks, Chris. This is the Live Compelled podcast, and I want you to do something. I want you to take a second and say, who could I send this podcast to? Is there a man that needs it? Is there a wife that needs hope that Jesus can change any husband, any circumstance? And please subscribe, and you'll just get these every time we crank one out. And so the 2 Corinthians 5:14 says, live compelled, man. It says we are compelled by Christ's love. Christ's love compels us. And thanks, Chris, and thanks for joining us.